Hi, my name is Molly Van Avery, and I'm a poet, and I've been honored to be on the other end of the 100 Poem Project with Scott County Libraries. For this project, anyone associated with Scott County Library had a chance to request a poem for themselves or a poem that I would write for them to give as a gift to someone else that they loved in their life. So 100 odes, 100 powerful reminders of how complicated and challenging and beautiful life is. And it's been incredible for me to feel and receive people's love of their children, love of their partners, love of being alive, and love of trying to make meaning out of this isolation that we've been experiencing and these challenges that have come with these unprecedented times. So I wanted to do two things in this video. I wanted to show you how I go about writing poems, spontaneous poems in the moment using my trusty typewriter. And I wanted to read some of the poems to Scott County Library branches that were the culminating element of the 100 Poem Project. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Okay, so I wanted to fill you in on my process for writing a spontaneous poem on the spot. And I'm going to do that through reflecting on my experience with Scott County Library and what it has meant to me to write these 100 poems for strangers. And so what I start with is the color of the paper. I read what people wrote to me, and I think about kind of the field that they're in. Some of my paper is really fluorescent, vibrant, dark, and some of it is really light. So I'm choosing a light blue sheet of paper to write this poem reflection because this experience has really opened my heart and has really helped me feel the generosity and vastness of people's love and desire to be seen and felt. And so I put it in and I think about what I just read or what I just received from people, and I often take a deep breath and I space out a little bit. And what I'm really doing is just looking for my first line. That's really what I want, is the first line that hooks me in and that helps me find the momentum to write the rest of the poem. So I'm going to think about this experience. Okay. So the first line that comes to me right away that really feels true of this whole overall arching 100 poems that I've gotten to write is the line, "You are tired." And this to me has a little bit of a melancholy heaviness, but it also opens my heart to a lot of compassion and empathy for what people are holding right now. And it feels like it's the first line that will propel me to explore that. So yes, you're tired, but what else are you? So here I go. Okay, so the poem that I wrote says, "You are tired, but also awake. You hold burden, lonely wishes for contact come across your skies. Reach out, dear heart, express your loneliness. Trust that even and especially now you are not alone. There are places for your longing, rich with resources of care and connection. Share yourself with me. All you feel is ingredients for the feast. Let yourself be fed. The gift of your love is infinite. The poetry of your love is waiting, ready for you to ask, to be seen. So I wanted to end with this, on this note. The last stanza for me is about, the poetry is waiting for you. And that is so much my experience with writing spontaneous poems for strangers, is there is something surrounding them, something that it's my job to sort of tap into or listen to. And I am really channeling. I'm really kind of getting out of the way, letting the poem that wants to be written show up and manifest. And it's an honor to be in that position. And I hope that people know, if anything, when they receive these poems, if they feel a resonance with what has been written, that is a poem that is always and has always been with them, surrounding them, around them, and it truly is theirs. So I hope that people know that they're just poems fluttering all around them, all the days, every day, no matter who they are, where they are. There are poems waiting to be written. So next I wanted to share some of the poems that I wrote for specific Scott County branches. And this was the final culminating element of the 100 Poem Project, is writing poems for libraries themselves, which was just such a pleasure. I love libraries. And I know that libraries save lives. So I will start with Savage Library. And this poem is jubilant and just says, "Bring the children in. Let their large laughing, their wailing, their coming and going fill our library with vibrant aliveness. This is a letter. This is a word. These words make a story, and stories make meaning of all that has come before you and all that could be. We sit on a bluff, so our perspective is long. When times are difficult, our community is strong. We braid the arts, information, imagination, elders and young ones together, the tapestry of all we are on display each day. Bring in all you know. Teach us what you see. We will be your mirror and a reminder of the power of community." So there's some cheesy but very heartfelt rhymes happening in that poem. And for me, why I wanted to share this poem is because I've been really moved by this project and how much Scott County Library really wants to stay a centerpiece in community, even as they've had to negotiate closings and limited openings and new ways of being centerpieces of community. And how powerful it has been to play a role in that process of that really looking at what can we do right now to still remain the marrow of these communities that matter so much to these libraries. This is a poem for the Prior Lake branch. Libraries honor all things, what has been and what could or will be. Everything in a library is free. For centuries, the Sioux people lived on this land, no money exchanged, all things in relationship. Now the Shakopee Mdewakanton Sioux community offered resources to build this library. Come inside where everything is free, where you learn to read a book knowing someone else has been before you and someone will after you. A valuable teaching to be not owner, but caretaker of what is sacred. Stories, repair, respect, water, trees, and the books they might become. My final poem is a poem of gratitude and acknowledgement for this project, but also really, really, really for books, for librarians, for stories, and for the resilience that I really witnessed through this project of the soul and the spirit, and that so much of that resilience is built on love. So Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. It's been an honor, and I hope to leave you with this poem and really with just trust that your experience is valuable and your expression of your experience matters. There's a river. History built a town. Now Jordan and the river and time holds us all. There is a hearth with a steady fire. Inside our library, come sit a while, stay a while. Life is better when we can be closer. Life is better with a book in your lap. May the river teach time to keep moving. May we watch the fire and the water and know that hard times come and hard times go. Thank you, stories, for revealing to us the truths we learn or already know.